You know, I'm going to have to eventually start the show. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast from the Impact Powersports studio. A daily show where I describe news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here. Holy cow. I see Kenny's already talking about it. So sleepy, but staying up for those final 3 minutes from Miami was so worth it last night. Not everybody knows what he's talking about because on the Monday Night Football game, the shit hit the fan. It was one of these marvelous moments where there's a total collapse. The Dolphins are beating the Titans by like 2 touchdowns. There's just 3.5, 4 minutes left. You know, Tennessee's got this scrappy quarterback, this young Will Levis, who's kind of a bitch. I mean, in a good way. I saw him earlier in the game. He scrambled. He'll run out of the pocket, and then he doesn't like slide. And he's a big dude. He's a big white gorilla. And it was a crazy play where some guy from the Dolphins was going to sack him, and he somehow wiggled his way out of it, and then he takes off. And instead of sliding, he like puts his head down and smashes into some dude on the Dolphins and just crushes him. Like, this guy is a scrappy son of a bitch. But he's kind of a reckless. He's probably going to be paralyzed in a couple of weeks because he plays with so much reckless abandon. Will the Thrill. But you're like, well, wait a minute. What happened? Joe Pellerito, not to be confused with show stalker Mike Pellerito, he sent along a fantastic video of some super duper football fan describing what happened in a describing what happened in the game in a TikTok. And it was great. All right, this is the last 4 minutes of this game. Now, if you're listening, it's going to be tough to follow. But it's still a good listen just to hear this guy describing it and losing his shit.
Miami Dolphins, what the fuck happened? I want to know. 20-13, 5:28 on the clock. This game is over. Look at these boneheads in the end zone. What the fuck happened, Dolphins? This is an all-time sell job. People went to bed after this touchdown. Gonna make it 27-13, 4:34 on the clock. Look at the Dolphins. Clowning. Absolutely clowning the Titans. They're doing tricks on it in the end zone, doing splits on Will Levis's head. A literal GTA strip club twerk session. Not to mention this shit. 14-point favorites on a Monday night. What the hell is going on in Miami? But what if I told you, with 3:08 on the clock, down 14, Will Levis would just chip away. Just a casual garbage time touchdown. Will Levis scrambles out, should mean nothing. The game is still over. They go for 2, they get it. Levis has a dog in him. And suddenly, we're 3rd and 6. Tua steps back, he's gonna get drugged down. What the hell is going on? Levis gets the ball back. I want to know what it looks like in Miami fans' living rooms. Because what the hell happened? And King Henry brings it home for the Titans. Dolphins.
Now, you'll notice that there's still a minute 40 left on the clock. They did all that in, less than 2 minutes. The Dolphins or the Titans scored all those points in less than 2 minutes. Oh my God.
14-point favorites. Just absolute shambles.
It's the fucking ghost of Frank Wycheck. It's a Music City miracle.
And on a 4th and 2, Tommy Cutlets did it. Game-winning drive. Tua couldn't. He goes down. Titans win.
Holy shit. The memory of Frank Wycheck. Oh, my God. And that's what Patrick says. He said the same thing. The Titans did it for Wycheck. You said the same thing I was thinking. Aram said the Dolphins looked ridiculous doing those antics in the end zone. Yeah, and knowing what we know now after that ridiculous comeback. Oh. I've got a lot of people. I see Amanda is commenting. Can I please have that guy commentate everything? He's fantastic. Kenny says, I need that TikTok. I'll send it off to you. Oh, God. That was ridiculously awesome. I like that Will Levis dude. He reminds me of like a more burly version of Brett Favre. Just kind of get in there, say, fuck you, and just sling it. Doesn't give a fuck. Throws it into quadruple coverage. He's got 5 guys wide open. He tucks it and runs. Probably the coach is probably pulling his hair out with the guy. God damn it, he was wide open. What the fuck is wrong? I saw a lane, coach. I had to run. Tyler says, dude on the TikTok sounds like an overexcited Saul. Cole says, without Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins are basically a high school team. Kenny adds, first comeback by a team. Aha! Hey, man, that's first comeback by a team down by 14 in the last 3 minutes since 2016, baby. Kenny's pulling out all these obscure stats. Cole says we might as well watch the Music City Miracle now. No, we watched it yesterday on, I think it's Patreon, maybe. That illegal pass by Frank Wycheck. Holy shit. Kenny says, yeah, Cole, that was a Patreon yesterday, and Eric was rude about it. Of course, I wasn't rude about it. What are you talking about? I honored the memory of Frank Wycheck. The guy passed away, had a very good career, but most widely known because of throwing a forward pass that the ref said, hey, the NFL said we have to allow this because it makes for a great story and we hate the Buffalo Bills. That's what happened there. I mean, come on, everybody knows it. But Frank Wycheck's falling down and hitting his head passes away, in case you haven't heard that story. Tyler says the NFL should have allowed the Titans one free illegal forward pass, quote, lateral, to honor Wycheck. Aram says, please do not honor anyone else people love, Eric. Rick from TC Paintball checks in by saying it wasn't a forward pass. Oh, you don't have eyes. I get you. What a ridiculous thing to suggest. Do I need to do it again? Do I need to go over it with you one more time? Why do you people insist on this? Well, if you must.
Wade Phillips, who was under so much fire this week for his decision, which we said no matter.
Yeah, he like switched quarterbacks. You know, and here are the Bills.
What you think about it, it is a courageous thing.
Game-winning field goal. All these people in Tennessee, they're like, oh, boy, better luck next year.
To make a change at...
Would not do is kick this thing, squib kick this thing short.
No, I'd kick it deep. I would make him use as much of the clock and take my chances
Doug
on a
Christie,
return
legend.
as opposed to squib kicking it. Let him get it with about
That's
12
Joe
seconds
Theismann
to go
there.
and a possibility for a play.
Dyson and Bird are deep.
Remember, fat ass catches it, and he hands it to bigger fat ass Wycheck. Wycheck is the guy who died over the weekend at just 52 years of old. 52 years of age. May he rest in 52 years of old.
Taken by Neal.
Now watch this. Here you go. Now look it. He throws it here.
He gives it to White.
Look at how far down this guy is. Oh my God. What a easy to call.
He gives.
Look at, he's throwing it here and this guy's here. How is that not a forward pass?
It to Wycheck. Wycheck. That looked like a forward pass.
It was a forward pass.
Taken by Dyson. Dyson's down the sideline. Dyson's going to go all the way. And there is no flag.
Yeah, the announcers can't believe it. They're like, okay, this clearly is, the fix is in. Here's a great view
Best
of it.
angle I can give you.
Badass catches it.
Check start to the right. Now is Dyson
And then this guy here, he goes long. He's like going for the bomb.
behind him? That's the question.
Look at that. Oh, that's horrible. Look at okay, Wycheck is at the 19-yard line, and Dyson is almost at the 30.
No, it's a forward pass.
Yeah. And they said, nope. It was a lateral. Screw the Bills. What a crock of shit. So bad. So bad. Now, what's crazy about that is no matter how many times I show this to some of you numbskulls, you're just not going to believe it. It's like you see things in an alternate reality. I mean, I just clearly showed you that Dyson was about 1 inch away from the 30. Wycheck was at the 17, and then he threw it, and it was just a catastrophe. Amanda says, I never understand football. A forward pass is bad. No, on that type of play, a kickoff, the rule is you can only throw it backwards. You can throw a forward pass when the quarterback says hike and he's behind the line of scrimmage. A kickoff, you cannot have a forward pass. That's the one thing and then the Titans, though, did there. They threw a forward pass, and then the ref said, hey, that's a pretty cool play, so we're going to allow it. And then that's it. On a regular play, like first down, second down, third down, fourth down, those plays you can throw a forward pass if you're behind the line of scrimmage. Cole says they didn't deserve to win for benching Flutie, but that was a forward pass. Kenny says, and that ball actually went slightly backwards with the last view, but Eric wants to be an R word about it. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Watch.
This is where he is.
Yeah, here's the line. This is where Wycheck is.
This is where he is.
And that's where Dyson is. Look at. You can see the path of the ball is clearly going forward. How can you not see that?
But he stepped.
Wycheck throws it at the 18, and Dyson catches it almost at the 30.
Back.
That's a forward pass.
It's gonna
See, the announcers know.
I'll tell you why it's going to be hard to tell. Because the ball is right on.
So there you go. I mean, ball don't lie, man. I don't know what to tell you. Tyler says case closed. That's what I thought, and that's what the whole world thought. I was standing in my kitchen in Knoxville watching that on a little TV I had in the kitchen. So same thing as I do now. I watch the games while I'm making food. And I'm like, well, this is stupid. Call it back. And they had replay. But there have been moments where refs have had the proof in the video, and then they don't, for some reason, what is irrefutable proof, they don't turn it. I never understood that. It was easily the biggest hose job in the history of sports. Titans end up going on to the Super Bowl that year. Stevie says, hold on, this play is how old? 23, I'm guessing. I don't know what Kenny is doing there. He spells a word that I think stands for something. And he spells it Goosfraba, Goosfrabba. And then he says, don't take anything Eric says seriously. My God. Corey says people in Buffalo have nothing else to live for except for the Bills. And this fills me with joy that they were made miserable once again. That's horrible. Patrick says Joe Theismann is a creep and an idiot who peddles weight loss crackers. Oh, I know what that's a reference to. I remember one time we had Theismann on. We had him on a few times. The one time in particular, he was peddling Kingsford charcoal. And we get him on, and we start talking to him. We've been on the air with him for 30 seconds. And then he actually says, hey, guys, I got to wrap this up. I got to go. And then we go, what? And he goes, yeah, buy Kingsford charcoal for your tailgate party. Kingsford charcoal is the best. Hey, thanks for having me. I got to go. We're like, what the fuck? Well, anyway, that ridiculous play on Monday Night Football last night was in honor of Frank Wycheck. But again, it doesn't quite work because last night's Bills did everything right and did not break any rules whatsoever. And they won the damn football game. It's moments like that that makes me not feel as bad about how miserable the Lions are finishing this football season. Because, what did I say? Bills, Titans? I don't know what the hell I'm doing today. I didn't get that sound of sleep last night, so if I misspoke there, whatever. Deal with it. Don't correct me now. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's moments like that makes me think that the end of the world is not near for the Lions. But then they play again, and I go, oh, no, the end of the world is near for the Lions. I went ahead on social media. I follow all these fucking Detroit Lions pages and shit. Like, oh, yeah, here's a clip of the coach. I got to watch this. I'm so pumped up. E-Rock is here. What up, E-Rock? I went and unsubscribed from all those pages that show up. I can't stand it anymore. I am so off of the GD bandwagon now. I can't do it. They suck. They lost 2 out of their last 5. They could very well have lost 5 out of their last 5 if it wasn't for whatever, last second bullshit. Which means right now, they could very well be 6-7. But somehow, these assholes are 9-4. And I am I'm off the bandwagon, totally. Totally off the bandwagon. Now, I could get back on, there's no question. But right now, this is the life of a Lions fan. On again, off again. Joe Martinez says they're going to lose to Denver, Dallas, and at least 1 to Minnesota. I am not ruling that out at all. In fact, I don't even think if they lose all 4 and finish the year 9-8 after being 9-3. Oh my God! Actually, they had 2 losses to Green Bay. They were 6-2 at that point. To go 6-2, no, I'm fucking that up. Either way, it doesn't matter. They suck dick. I am so not about them right now, which is saying something because I was all this through all of this season. I've been just on fire. What the fuck's up with my hair? Can't have that. All right, welcome in. So glad you guys are here. I have an update for you. The Great Food giveaway with tampons is starting to get really, really fantastic. I need to go to the tote board with you to give you an update. Yesterday, we talked about our 40th donation to put us at $4,644.21 donated to pay for all of that food and all of those tampons. Great Food giveaway number 4 with tampons is coming. Since that time, we got a $50 donation and we got a $25 donation. I sound like I'm drunk. 4644.21 plus, oh shit, 4644.21 plus $75. That puts us at $4,719.21. The food was $3,083, so I think, or thereabout, which means we have, let's see, $1,250.72 for ladies' feminine products. A week from Thursday, I'll be at Irvine's Auto Repair. We will be at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. People will pull up in their cars, will put a box of food into their car, Christmas ham, sack of potatoes, 2 cans of corn, not to mention gravy, rolls, and a pumpkin pie. Grand Rapids Pitbull Alliance will have pet food if they need it, all for free. And then the question has to be asked, do you need any tampons? Now, there can be no dudes giving away tampons. There's a code between chicks. You don't want a guy that looks as fucked up as Kevin Kuipers giving away tampons, or me. We look like the type of guys who would use tampons as tea bags. That's a horrible visual. So you will be giving away, ladies will be giving away tampons to other people. So they get a car full of food, dog food, and tampons. Here you go. And people are now mailing tampons in. I got a box of tampons mailed to me. I know Megan has had a few boxes of tampons mailed to her. Newsflash. I just found out that this week the price of potatoes is $1 off a bag. That would take $100 off of our food bill and add $100 into our tampon fund. We're going to be able to buy so many damn tampons, it's ridiculous. We're going to have a pallet full of tampons. Tampons and cups. Those weirdo cups. Have you seen those things? We talked about it. Which I had no idea that it's an actual cup that goes inside of the lady. And then it fills it up like a draft beer. And then she has to remove that thing. And that you like rinse it out and then you use it again. It's like a K cup that you constantly put like your own coffee into it. I think that there could be a thing where like a woman puts it in there and then puts it right in the coffee maker. There you go. That's a new variation. That's horrible. E-Rock drops, I donate our old tampons to Goodwill. Yeah, it's jokes like that that's going to make you a legend on Compound Media. Or get you kicked off, you asshole. Aram says, do you have a women's shelter around GR that you can donate any extras to? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to give those away. All right. Tampons work well as wine stoppers, too. I doubt that. Corey suggests that I will be standing there giving away tampons, saying, ma'am, how is your flow this month? God damn. Corey says Eric must be the one asking if they need tampons, and he has to ask them if they need the really big ones. Megan refers to the ladies as the period patrol. Okay, so, all right. Thank you as well to Megan for making a graphic that I posted. And I have a post at the top of my Facebook page. If you could share that so that more people are aware, that's all you got to do. If you're on Facebook, it's pinned to the top. It says Great Food Giveaway. All the details are on the graphic. Just share it and then write, like, if you know someone in need this holiday season in West Michigan, please share. Because, God, it's such a pain in the ass when we start the Great Food Giveaway and there's 10 cars there. And then we fill them up full of food, and then there's no one there for 2 hours. I mean, for God's sake, it's a fucking podcast. Not everybody pays attention to my podcast. I know. I'd like to think that everybody does, but it's true they don't. I was at Bosco's Pub yesterday, and Doug says to me, he goes, hey, I had a couple here that were asking about you. I go, oh, yeah? Yeah, they said that they know about your podcast, but there's too many GDs and JCs. You say too many. And I'm like, fucking grow up. Shut up. I go, oh, wow, yeah, that happens. Occasionally I'll swear. What type of fucking asshole are you if you're like, oh, no, those bad words are hurting my ears? Yeah, eat my shit. Holy fuck. How annoying is that? E-Rock says, and maybe some shut the fuck ups. You get all that here. Ryan says, I love those assholes that then proceeded to go to your sponsors' work and complain. Amanda says, you're not taking the Lord's name in vain. You're calling out for the baby Jesus. Well, I mean, if you think about it, that's the way I've always looked at it, you know? I mean, people always say, oh, you're taking the Lord's name in vain. Well, who decided that? Some pope? Some guy here on earth who made up a rule? I mean, generally, it's probably, I don't want to utter it because I don't want to say it out like when I'm in front of people. I'll only do it here because I can't see the faces. But come on now. Kyle says it's not the GDs. It's all the, oh no. You sound like Bruce from Family Guy. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say there, Kyle. That sounds super retarded. Aram says, I never understood why swears are bad, but clinical terms for the same thing are okay. I think it depends on how you are in your Bible lore. I think there's a spot in the Bible that I swear to God actually talks about man will not have a bad mouth or swear. Or it's in here. I'm going to look it up right now. Bible verse on swearing. the top Bible verses about swearing. Okay. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 33 through 37. Verse 34 says, "But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne." That does not apply. It's not what we're talking about. Or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Doesn't apply. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. And maybe that's not what I'm looking for. The Bible on bad language. Focus on the family. This is a great site for all things like this. The Bible has more to say about bad words than we realize. Check out what the Apostle Paul says about the language Christians should use. Now, here's the thing, though. You have to wonder. When the Bible was originally written, it wasn't written in a language that we understand. It's had to be translated over many, many years. And each time there's a new translation, there's some asshole who changes things here or there. And just a word can mess with the context. Just know that the version you're reading today is not the same version that was first written. For all we know, it may say, thou shalt tell people to fuck off when they annoy you. And that could have been changed. Just take it with a grain of salt. The Apostle Paul says about the language Christians should use. Quote, "Watch the way you talk. Let nothing foul or dirty come out of your mouth. Say only what helps, each word a gift." Ephesians chapter 4, Paul's letter to the Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Okay, say only what helps, each word a gift. Well, if someone's talking too much and I say shut the fuck up, that does help. Paul also says, quote, "There should not be even a hint of sexual sin among you. Don't do anything impure, and do not always want more and more. These are not the things God's holy people should do. There must not be any bad language or foolish talk or dirty jokes. They are out of place. Instead, you should give thanks." Let me tell you something right now. There is no fucking way that the original version of the Bible said there should not be any bad language or foolish talk or dirty jokes. I'm sorry. I don't believe that of all the things they've got to worry about, they're going to make time to write there should not be any bad language or foolish talk or dirty jokes. If that's the case, we are all going to hell. And it's going to be all of us telling each other to fuck off. Focus on the family continues. This is great, by the way. I'm glad we discovered this. Tyler says, "Thou shalt not make dick jokes." Corey says the Bible has been changed so many times and sections have been removed when some pope or whoever didn't like what was in it. For example, there was a whole section about past lives that was removed by some pope in the Middle Ages. Oh, I know. Teo32 says, "If your genitals have been damaged, stay out of church." Quote, "He that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord." Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 1. I can't even tell if that's real or not. The meaning of the words can change. Tracing the history of words to find out why they've been seen as profanity can be interesting, but that information has nothing to do with the way people use the word in modern times. As Christians, we should consider how these words are perceived in our culture today. For example, what do people really mean when they use the F word? Well, that depends. What are they trying to communicate? What are they trying to communicate? I usually use bad words to emphasize and for hilarity. So that means it's legit. I can do that. How does it feel when someone says it to you? It feels good. That means that they accept me. I love it. Is there any way the F word can build others up? Well, yeah, of course. Like if Kenny, gets ripped and loses weight, and all of a sudden he's absolutely rock chiseled. I say, Kenny, you're fucking ripped. I could build him up. That would make him feel good. Does it ever benefit those who hear it? When I call Kenny a fuck, that benefits people because it's funny to call him that sometimes, or anybody. I'm just using Kenny as an example. Like when Kenny says Frank Wycheck threw a lateral, and I'd be like, you're a dumb fuck. No, he didn't. Okay, that's all legit. Focus on the Family continues and says profanity is always negative and hurtful. Yeah, bullshit. It says, in fact, swearing amounts to verbal abuse, and Jesus had some important things to say about the seriousness of the issue. See Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. I think we already read that, and I didn't get that out of there. Instead, we should speak positive and encouraging words. The Apostle Paul says, quote, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Listen to this. This is totally serious. They write, still not convinced to avoid swearing? Call us for a free over-the-phone consultation. 855-771-HELP. Our staff would be happy to talk with you about your question. What kind of asshole is going to call the swear line? No, and then I forget which one of you said. It might have been Amanda. That was Megan. It says focus on the family is pretty problematic. Yeah, I think that they are. Aram says, does anyone else remember the show where Eric tried to read a Bible passage at church but butchered it and changed people's names because he thought there were typos? Yeah, I used to do the readings at Mass. I do remember that. And I was like, this is wrong. And people are like, no, you said it wrong, you idiot. All right. Well, that was quite a can of worms that we had to open up there. Did not expect that. Holy cow. All right. I do need to take a break, but before I do that, I want to thank my friends who are watching the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Thank you so much for checking out the show. The full thing is available when you download the Twitch app on your mobile device. And search Eric Zane Live, all one word, or if you're on a desktop or laptop or whatever, just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Thank you. And you can watch the show in its entirety. I have a Patreon podcast that I do when this one gets done. Usually go for another 30 or 40, sometimes 50, sometimes an hour. That's where we started to go down the road of Frank Wycheck yesterday because I found out between shows that Wycheck died. This really, really opened up for us. As much as that cheating play opened up for them. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can try it out for 7 days free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. All right. Thank you so much. Send you on